Hello, and welcome to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog illknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can join our group on Ravelry, I'll Knit With You, or email me at illknitwithyou@gmail.com. Okay, I think that's all. Last week I was like, hey, how are all my owls and my sheep? And I watched it later and I was like, Rebecca, what are you talking about? So hey, how are my owls and my ewes? Because that's the name of the podcast. Good job, brain. Not a lot to talk about this week. Life's been pretty good and pretty crazy. Pokemon Go came out. I'm sure you're either really excited to hear about it or really sick of hearing about it, and it's kind of hard to judge where you're at. So I'll mention it really briefly. I totally have been playing since the day it released. I was actually going to try and get a bootleg copy, and then I waited one more evening to see if it would release in the USA, and it did. So that's been pretty awesome. I've been walking a ton because of it, so I feel like it has made me like weirdly healthier. Like my legs are a little sore today, and I haven't been spinning as much because I've been out walking. I'm using my leg muscles for that instead of spinning, which is, you know, one way or another, right? But I have been doing some stuff around the house. So there is this book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And if you have read it, you might use what's called the KonMari method. And what that means is just a way to like decide what to keep and what to get rid of. So I live in an apartment with a roommate, and so my room is pretty much most of my stuff, except for what's in the living room. That's kind of like shared stuff that I don't really feel comfortable throwing away unless I talk to her first, like consult her. But anything in my room is like, you know, I'm free to dispose of or keep as I will. And so I went through my room, which is significantly sized, and I got rid of mountains of stuff. I filled my SUV with stuff to donate twice. A lot of it was fabric because I've not really been sewing in a really long time, and if I was going to sew, I'd probably buy specific stuff just to sew with. Most of my stuff's gotten kind of old. A lot of like just old clothes I don't really wear, and since I've done it, I refolded all my clothes and like reorganized my closet and stuff like that, and I'm noticing that I kind of I've been doing laundry every week too, so I don't usually do laundry every week. I would usually do laundry like once a month because I had so much clothes I didn't have to. But I've been trying to change my bed sheets every week, which not that I have skin that's breaking out all the time, but there's less oils on your sheets if you do it that way. So I've been trying to change them every week and do laundry every weekend. And so because of that, I've noticed that like there are socks that I don't really wear that I have. There are shirts I don't really wear that I have. Like I don't reach for them first, and I kind of wait until I have to reach for them. And so I might weed out a little bit more stuff, but I only threw away 3 or 4 bags of trash, and most of my stuff went to donations, which I feel really good about. So that was pretty awesome. And I got rid of a giant desk, which I named Mega Desk way far back. It's 7 foot long, and I love it, and I'm trying to sell it now because it's just so huge. And I was able to spread stuff out in my room more, so I actually have like empty spaces on my walls, which is not how things were before. I kind of like packed everything in. But yeah, it makes me really happy. I even did all my knitted socks in a drawer, so that's pretty fun to look at. So I think that's mostly everything. Pokemon Go and KonMari, that's what I've been up to. I kind of gave up coffee by accident. I quit drinking it and didn't realize I'd stopped drinking it, and I didn't get headaches or anything, which was nice. So I'm going to kind of stay on that path. Although last year at SSK, we were running down to Starbucks to get icy cold drinks every day. So I'll be cool if we do that too. Either way, I'm so excited about going, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. So I'm pretty pumped for that. So let's get into some actual crafting, why don't we? So let's do full of it first. I did finish another big blanket strip. Ooh, this one's huge. And it's the same as before. So the teal that is my warp is acrylic, and then everything else is hand spun or hand spun like yarn. So there you go. And you can see it's not super duper even, but I really want to finish this blanket for Stash Dash, which is like a huge motivation. So I've got a couple of things I'm going to show you today that I'm working on before I get to this in Stash Dash, but I don't know that I'll be able to make my blanket wide enough for me to consider it finished, and I don't want to lie just to count the yardage for Stash Dash. So this was done before Stash Dash started, but then I didn't podcast for a long time. And so this does not count for Stash Dash, but anything I do blanket strip wise after this will count for Stash Dash, which is pretty awesome because I feel like there's significant yardage every time I weave that I'm sinking into this stuff. Fold this back up here. But I really like weaving still. It's still doing pretty great with me. I have some stuff I like to make for Christmas, but I've already got all that ordered, and so I'm like way far ahead of the game. So let's move on to whips. I finished this Plum Rondo a la Turk for an owl, but I made it short sleeved, and I don't like short sleeve sweaters. I found out I just don't ever wear them because they feel awkward. Like they're never warm enough, but they're always too cold, and so I decided to pick up the sleeves on this. So I'm doing the sleeves 2 at a time because that way they'll be the same exact length. And I've done that before with my sweaters when I'm, just regularly making them. And it keeps me from having, one that's like a little bit longer or shorter. Like I know my sleeves are going to be the same length because I picked up and knit them at the same point. So I did my picking up last night. So there's not a lot of work on this yet. But soon. I'll have... the sleeves were already to about like here on my arm because they were just a little bit longer than past my my armpit, or not my armpit, this is my elbow pit. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I only have about maybe like 6 or 7 inches left in it. And this is worsted weight yarn, so it should go really fast. But it's been kind of fun to pick up this yarn because I really do like this yarn a lot. It's Lorna's Laces. The specifics are listed below, and they're also on my projects page. So, but this sweater made me really happy, and then I didn't wear it when it was cold enough. I didn't wear it once, like not even once, which is super crazy. So I'm looking forward to putting it into a wearable state for this next fall winter season. Another work in progress I have is the 002. I think it's 002. I've been working on this for my mom. It's navy and it's very dark, but it's a gigantic vest. And it goes this direction, and it's supposed to be like drapey and tunicky and long. And it's got just the same pattern over and over forever. So this is the first side of it. So this part will be like the front flap, basically. And this is the first armhole. So I haven't gotten very far. I feel like I've worked on it a ton. I've used a ton of yarn. I still have a ton of yarn to use. So it's going. It's not going very fast. I honestly don't enjoy it tons, but I also really want to get it done. And that's kind of the story of... My mom picks these really repetitive patterns, which I don't mind knitting, but nothing happens while you knit them. Like, they just go forward. But most of the stuff that I knit myself either has color work in it, and it's not just stockinette forever. I'm losing the sunlight, so I'm trying to hurry. And this is another thing that she's picked out that's also just the same pattern forever. And I don't mind knitting for my mom at all. But she gets frustrated because I don't finish things for her. But I don't finish things for her because knitting on them isn't fun. And so this is the Lucente. And it is the same little mesh pattern all the way. And you just make the front and the back of the... It's like a t-shirt. It's like a knitted t-shirt. Front and back. This is the yarn that I ordered that was gradient. It's not matching as well as I thought it did in the cake. But it's also not horrible. So this is the back of it. It's a little bit brighter than the front of it. So my mom says she likes it so far, so she likes it, that's what we're going with. I'm worried that once I finish it, she's never going to wear it because it doesn't actually match. So we'll see how that goes. And if that's what she does, then we'll have learned a couple things about what my mom actually likes instead of what she sees on the shelf and thinks she wants. She doesn't really understand knitting the same way that, people who actually do the work do. And so she'll pick out stuff and not quite understand the full dynamicness of it. Does that make sense? Kind of. But I'm happy to knit for her, and I'm excited to maybe make her something that she'll want to wear. Like, that's pretty exciting to me. So hopefully we'll get there with one of these pieces. I'm also still working on my Embrace the Octopus sweater. It's not gotten very far. I am past the top. Well, you can see my octopus. That's awesome. It shows up really well on camera. It's kind of hard to see in person. But I've gotten past my first chart, and now I'm doing the body chart, and then there'll be a couple inches of stockinette after that. And I'm doing a really amazing color work type thing where you basically twist all your stitches based on the way that you're holding your yarn, and it's less switching back and forth and actually twisting work. As you can see, the inside looks really, really nice, which means it's also always stretchy. Like, you don't ever have that density or that like unstretchableness that you get with color work sometimes. And I really like this, but I felt like I needed to work on my mom's projects and get those done first. So, but there you go. There you can see how it's looking. So this is the front of my octopus. And this is the back. It's got a tentacle on it. And then once I'm done with the body, I'll go back and pick up the sleeves. And this is going to be a really, really warm sweater because it's wool of the Andes in a worsted weight. So we'll see how that goes. And those are my whips. I do have some mustache to show you. And this is all stuff that I bought at a local fiber fair, so most of it's not available online. One of the companies for sure is, and that's Roar Fibers. There'll be a link in my project page, or in my blog page. Wow, project page, Rebecca. I can't remember if I've got these in my stash yet or not, but if they are, you can also see pictures of them there. So this is from Victoria House Fibers, and the colorway is Peacock Ore. Look at that. Doesn't that just look like super pretty? It's really, really purpley. I don't know how well you can see the bag shine on there. But it has Falkland and Corriedale in it, and it is non-superwash, it says. But get some instructions on how to undo a braid, just in case you don't know if you're new to yarn stuff. But that is the first one I bought. And so to match this, I bought a couple of 1 ounce bags of alpaca, straight alpaca. So it's this maroony color, which I think will go really good with these jewel tones. Yes. I got a few more beautiful bats and some Rologs. Where's my Rologs? I may have misplaced them. I got some really beautiful, oh no, they're right here. Some really beautiful, really dark, peacocky Rologs. Can you even see those? Okay, it's gonna be crinkly, but I'm gonna turn the volume off for a second. So this is the colors of that. They're very dark. There's lots of navies and dark purples. But hopefully I'll spin it for you soon and you can see it then. I bought some just blue navy fiber. It just says $5 per ounce. No information on the fiber content on that one. I bought some handspun for my woven blanket. It got really dark in here, didn't it?